For everybody logging on right now, this is History Lessons, formerly known as Quarantine Sessions, episode 52. I am with Joe Scudda. Thank you for joining me this evening.
Yeah, man.
We're going to get into a little history, and then we're going to take it all the way up to what you have going on now. Can you tell everybody where you were born and raised?
Born in Atlanta, or Georgia. No, born in Asheville. Moved to Atlanta, then moved to Raleigh area when I was in sixth grade. So I grew up in North Carolina, though.
Okay. What was a day in the life of Joe Scudda as a youngster growing up?
Uh, Sports. Tried skateboarding. Almost murdered myself. Stopped that. Was a preacher's kid. So that means I was a fucking psycho, along with two brothers. Um, Regular shit, man. Getting in trouble all the time.
Any obstacles you had to endure growing up? Anything that kind of prevented you, or anything that kind of got in the way of having a good childhood?
No, nothing. That's why I didn't. That's me and my brother always joke around that. That's why uh we were never. I was never like super successful at art. Anything art is I didn't grow up tough enough.
During these times, in your formative teenage years, what were some of your musical influences?
Man, Otis Redding. I just remember my dad always played Otis Redding, Al Green, that whole era, James Brown. Like I grew up on that, Zeppelin, um, all types of everything, man. Really, it's like I didn't really form my own musical taste till probably like seventh or eighth grade.
And what happened then?
I would say, like growing up, I listened to everything, and then so rap music. I would say I started listening to rap music, NWAs and shit like that. But it wasn't till like sixth and seventh grade where I would get home, start watching BT or MTV or some shit like that, and like really start digging. Because I'm the oldest, so I didn't have like an older brother to put me on to what he was listening to. So I kind of just had to figure it all out for myself. And it was almost
Right.
like that era, like sixth grade, which would have been like 90. I just remembered Public Enemy, but then 92 or some shit. I just remember hearing Wu-Tang's Protect Your Neck for the first time, being like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right.
And then that's kind of where
Um,
everything went from there.
Growing up in North Carolina, what was your earliest memory of hip hop? What did you see personally that kind of drew you in?
I don't know what my earliest memory is, but I do remember, I'm trying to think. It's probably a video, because especially where I was growing up, like, it wasn't like you were going outside and seeing a bunch of shit. But I just remember seeing the Far Side's Passing Me By video for the first time and being like, yo, this is dope as fuck. And then the Beastie Boys. I really had to find everything on my own. And I was still jumping around, like Nirvana was out. So I was listening to Nirvana, Cypress Hill's Black Sunday album.
So we're talking like 93.
Yeah, like 92, 93. But I was still playing sports. So like music was kind of like a Yeah, that's tight. You know what I mean? But like I was playing baseball year round. Like I played baseball year round till from like 9 to fucking 18. And so sports were, but so it wasn't really till like my freshman year in high school where like music like really grabbed me. And that was like Redman's first album and stuff like that.
At what point did you start to pick up the pad and pen and start writing?
Dude, I didn't write my first rap till I was out of high school. I was like 2 years out of high school. So I
And what brought
graduated in
that on?
98. I graduated in 98. I probably didn't start rapping till 2000, 2001. I DJ'd.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started out DJing. I bought all my own equipment. I had a little I had a gig like detailing cars. So I bought all my own shit, records, everything. And so I was just DJing house parties, DJing like little functions at like centers and stuff like that. And so I always wanted to be a DJ. And then my dumbass, my dad got like an Acura, and he let me take it to Myrtle Beach, like a fucking that was I don't know why he did that. So he lets me take it to Myrtle Beach. It's me and my homies. We are fried out of our minds, and we're on that strip. Like I'm not really too worried about how high I am because I'm only going probably 2 miles an hour. You can't move anyway. And somebody merged into me, like literally just dented the whole side of the door up. So I'm high as hell. I can't call the cops. I'm I'm just like, yo, give me your info. Well, they gave me some bogus info. And so I got back home. He's like, what happened? And I told him, somebody hit me and then they peeled out. He was like, all right, well, you got to pay for it. Now, mind you, I'm like 19 years old. I don't have any money. And
Right.
he was like, you got like 2 months to pay for it. I didn't believe it. And then 2 months came, man. And he was like, where's the money? I was like, I don't got it. And so he took all my DJ equipment and pawned everything. He pawned the tables, the mixers, the speakers. I probably had 1,000 records, and he pawned every single one of them to get the money to fix that door. And then after that, it was just like that took me like 2, 3 years to get. So I was like, I'm not fucking spending. I don't have the money to do that again. So I just started like, I didn't start rapping. A homie of mine, rest in peace, Kyle Rose, and then another homie of mine, rest in peace, Jesus, Tyree. They would be rapping at house parties, and it just made me just like start writing. And so every house party we would go to, I'd have like 2 raps, long as fuck, like 50 bars. And you know, how people would be rapping at like people would rap at like parties and shit like that. What happened? And then so everybody be rapping, and then they would be like, "But you can't fuck with my man." And they look, and it'd be just some fucking white dude, and they'd be like, "All right." And then I would just start rapping for like 50 bars, bro. The same bar, the same rap every party. And
Right.
I would just start flaming fools, and everybody was like, "Holy shit!" And so that's just kind of how it. Even then, I wasn't even thinking about rapping. I was just writing. It wasn't like I'm gonna do music. That wasn't even, dude. That was so far like that seemed like such a. It wasn't even a pipe dream. It didn't even seem real. You know what I mean? So it was just like I'm gonna just write because I just wanted to go to house parties, kick bars, and get laid. That's literally the only thing I wanted to do.
Right.
Like I wasn't like Fonte who like was in the choir and you know what I'm saying, all that shit, and knew from like he was gonna be a musician and for me, dude, I just wanted to party, get laid, and like, oh shit, I can rap. So check this out. This is gonna help.
Right. At what point did you realize that it was something you were good at and you wanted to pursue?
I knew I was good at it, fam. This is gonna sound insane. I was on the Loving It video shoot and then literally was looking around like, holy fuck, I'm a rapper? This is crazy. Like, that's how ridiculous it is. Like, it took me to that point.
And that was like 2005.
Right. I was just doing it. Like, I was good at it, so I was doing it. But it just none of it seemed real to me. Like when I met the boys, I was just like, wait a minute, y'all are recording, y'all have your own setup? Like this is insane. So none of it felt real. It was weird. It's weird. It's really kind of weird to think about. Which also explains why I never fucking like really put an album out.
Right. What was your creative process back then? Did you have to wait for the beat to write your rhymes, or were you always constantly writing in your notepad, and you would put that over a beat?
I would have phases of like writing, and then phases of like I can't write shit until I have a beat. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, in the beginning, bro, I would just like you would play a Jay-Z song. Like if someone was writing, or if I was writing, like I could write in my head or write on paper to the Jay-Z song, but the actual song, like him rapping, and I could
Right.
like write in my head, and I don't even know like tune out the words or some shit.
Can you take us back to some of your earlier projects before the Justice League, if you put out any?
There is nothing. I'm telling you, man, I had the
No,
same two fucking verses for 2 years.
they
Like
got to be on tape somewhere.
there is no like before then. All right, no, there is. My homies from around the way were going to the studio, and I got like a verse on 4 songs, but God knows where that is, and it was
Right.
trash.
Can you
But
take us
but
back to how the? Go ahead.
yeah, but there is no like, oh, I was putting out these, and then I got with them, and it was none of that, dude. I was fucking homeless.
Can you take us back to how the Justice League formed and who did it consist of at the time?
Well, that's a story for them because I came in after the fact.
Okay.
They were already like formed when I got there. That's why I'm saying it like fucked me up because I got there and was like, oh, what the fuck? Like y'all are actually like really recording shit? This is crazy. And it all happened by dumb luck, like chance. How I even met any of
Who?
them.
Yeah. So who did you meet that brought you into the Justice League?
Well, okay, so it's a really roundabout. So, like I said, I DJ'd, right? So I used to buy records from this dude named MC, DJ MC. So we were cool. I would see him, and then once I stopped buying records, I kind of fell off the map. And I saw him at a club. I saw him at a club. Mind you, I'm just like couch surfing at this point. I got kicked out of my dad's house. My pops was like, "Yo, you turned 21, you up out of here." I was like, "Yeah, okay." I turned 21. He got me the fuck up out of there. And so I'm couch surfing, and I see him at a club, and he's like, "Yo, we're DJing NC State's homecoming tomorrow, and it's Naughty by Nature, the Beat Nuts, and De La Soul, and I'm DJing like the whole thing." So I was like, "All right." He's like, "Come check me out." I was like, "Okay." I'm driving at the time. I'm driving a minivan, like a straight up, like you listen to the Black Keys.
Yeah.
You know El Camino, that minivan on the front?
Right.
I'm driving that, like everywhere. Middle seats taken out, like wild. And so I pull up, and I'm pull up. He's doing the party. It's like an all day thing. We kick it, hang out. I'm watching De La Soul, Naughty by Nature. Like shit is dope as fuck. And so Treach says we're gonna let 4 people come up here and freestyle. And I got 2 verses still. And so the 4 dudes run up there, and I'm in the back, and it's one of those like, I don't know if I should. I'm kind of, yeah. So I don't do it. And I see Treach behind the stage. He's on his 2-way while these dudes are on stage rapping. I walk up to him. I'm like, yo, man, let me get on stage. And he literally looks at me, and he's like, nah, man, fuck off, basically. He was like, fuck out of here. We got the 4. I was like, all right, man. Well, I turn around, take 2 steps, and then I'm just like, fuck it. So I turn around and just start spitting. And I'm talking about everything I got. I'm going. And he flips his 2-way down. He looks at me. He's like, holy shit. He was like, come on. So Vin has started their set back up, and Treach runs out on the stage and says, stop. He was like, hold up. I got one more dude. And Vin's kind of looking at him like, what? And he hands me the mic, and I spit the same exact 50 bars that I had again, which was nuts. So it's my first time really performing in front of anybody. There's literally probably 3,000 people out there. And so we get off stage, and I'm just hanging out with them. And it's the same night Aaliyah died. I'll never forget that. Everybody's 2-way started blowing up, and everyone was like, holy shit, Aaliyah just died. And then so I'm with MC. MC was like, come back to the house. He was like, where you live at? And I was like, I'm couch surfing right now. So I go back to their crib, and that's where I meet Ninth. So I meet Ninth Wonder, and I literally never leave their crib. I never leave the crib. Like I was just there for the next like 2 years. And that's
Dope.
how, and then Ninth introduced me to Legacy, Sean Boog, Crisis, Fonte, Pooh, Doe, everybody. That's literally how it happened. It was just like dumb luck, chance.